Mrs. Fewling's fourth grade science class presents Real World Science. Reporting on habitats from locations all over the world, your hosts for our program are Tessa and Patrick.
Thanks, Mrs. Fielding. Hi, I'm Tessa Givens. Welcome to Real World Science. In this program, we're going to travel the world and discover all about the many different places where animals and plants live. Ready? Let's go. Now we will begin with the Thomas sisters.
Thank you, Tessa. Animals and plants live in many different places all over the world. Some animals live in warm places and some in cold. Some plants survive with very little water and some can only live in water. Some animals and plants live in the mountains, while others can survive in the ocean. Some animals can live in the dry, barren desert. Still others live in a special place called the rainforest. Amanda?
Yes, Ellie. The place where a plant or animal lives is called a habitat. Every habitat is different. However, the habitats meet the needs of plants and animals that live there. All living beings need air, water, food, and space too. Ellie, tell us more.
Within the space of a habitat, animals need to find shelter. A shelter is a place or an object that protects an animal from weather or predators. This tiny salamander finds its shelter among the rocks. There's more, right, Amanda?
Yes, Ellie.
Oh, whoops. A bear may use a cave as a shelter, while other animals may climb trees for safety or go underwater to protect themselves. There's more, right, Amanda?
Yes, Ellie. There is more. Some animals may find shelter by digging tunnels or burrows under the ground. Some animals carry their shelter around with them, like this giant turtle. Patrick, back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. Habitats provide plants and animals with the things they need to survive. Plants and animals that have similar needs live together in the same type of habitat. And animals that let's take a trip around the world to discover the different habitats and learn about some of the plants and animals that live there. Our first two stops are the polar regions of the Earth, where it's very, very cold. Tell us more, Tegan.
The polar regions are found to the very northern part of the Earth and the very southern part of the Earth, the South Pole. These two areas have very cold climates and are covered by ice and snow. There are very few plants, and the animals that live in the polar regions have changed so that they are able to survive this harsh, cold habitat. We call these changes adaptation. For example, polar bears have insulating fur, while animals like seals have extra body fat called blubber to help them stay warm. Penguins have adapted to these harsh polar conditions too. Now back to you, Tessa.
Thank you, Tegan. The next habitat we're going to is the tundra. Isaiah, I hope you're staying warm.
Thank you, Tessa. The tundra is the North America Greenland, parts of northern Europe and northern Asia. The tundra is cold and bleak. However, there is some plant life, mostly the mosses, grasses, and those shrubs. Even though the climate is cold and the habitat offers very little shelter from the weather, some animals do live on the tundra. They include caribou, seals, penguins, and brown bears, and a variety of unusual birds. Back to you, Patrick. Thanks, Isaiah. The next type of habitat we're going to visit is called the desert. Here's Avery to tell you more.
Deserts are found in North America, parts of South America, Africa, Asia, and Australia. Some deserts are hot and dry. Others are cold and dry. Plants and animals that live in deserts are adapted to life with very little water. Isabella, tell us more.
Thank you, Avery. For example, cactus plants store water in their stems or roots, and rattlesnakes get water from their food
While camels are able to drink and store lots of water in their bodies at one time, some animals have adapted to the desert heat by living underground where it is cooler. You'll also find a wide variety of lizards that have adapted to the harsh living conditions of the deserts. Tessa?
Thank you, Isabella. The next habitat we're going to is called the grasslands. Now to you, Susu. The Great Plains of the United States are grasslands. You'll also find grasslands in South America, Africa, Europe, and Asia too. Grasslands are typically large, wide, open spaces. Most plants on the grasslands are grasses. There are not many trees found in the grasslands because there isn't enough rain. Paul, tell us more.
In the grasslands of North America, you'll find large animals like buffalo grazing on the plains. In the sky, you will find hawks scanning the ground for small animals, like rabbits that have adapted to become very fast because there are very few places to hide, and marmots who dig burrows for protection from predators. In the grasslands of Australia, you'll find wallabies, a relative of the kangaroo, while in Southwest Asia, you find a fast-running but flightless bird, the ostrich. Back to you, Susu.
In Africa, you'll find large grazing animals such as elephants, rhinos, wild beasts, and fierce predators like lions. Back to Patrick.
Thanks, Susu. Now we go from the treeless grasslands to a place that has lots of trees. The forest. There are three different kinds of forest habitats. These contain different types of plants and animals. Joseph, tell us about the carnivorous forest.
The first type of forest habitat is called the coniferous forest. Coniferous forests are found in the northern regions of the world, on the North American continent, parts of northern Europe, and northern Asia. Trees found in the coniferous forest, like firs and spruce, have needle-shaped leaves that stay green all year. The word coniferous comes from the word cone. Coniferous trees have cones like this for seeds. Tell us more, Natalie.
Thanks, Joseph. In coniferous forest, you will find small animals like mice, squirrels, and foxes. In the branches of the trees, you'll see a wide variety of birds, including owls. On the ground, you'll find large animals like moose, the largest member of the deer family. You'll also find beavers and otters too. Back to you, Tessa.
Wow, that was interesting, Nayeli. The next type of forest habitat is the temperate forest. Fernando, where are they located?
Thanks, Tessa. The temperate forests are found in the North American continent, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Australia too. Aubrey, could you tell us more?
Thanks, Fernanda. A temperate forest has 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. In a temperate forest, you'll find deciduous trees like maple and oak trees. Deciduous trees drop their leaves in fall. Other types of plants include wildflowers and ferns too. The temperate forest holds wonderful animals. Gio, tell us about them.
Animals that live in a temperate forest habitat have adapted to the forest seasons in ways. For example, deer can find food in every season. Birds that live in the temperate forest fly or migrate to warmer places in the winter. Animals like bears sleep or hibernate through most of the winter. And this is a bunny looking for food. Now to you, Patrick.
Thanks, Gio. The third type of forest habitat is the rainforest. Tell us more, Melina.
Thanks, Patrick. Rainforests are found in South America, Africa, Malaysia, and Australia. The large amount of rainfall and heat in the rainforest, you'll find plants with very broad leaves and trees that grow above the tall shrubs and vines. Michael, tell us more.
Thanks, Maria. Animals living in a rainforest have adapted to live among tall plants. There are small animals like tree frogs. Large predators have body colors that help them to hide in the dense foliage, and bright, colorful macaws blend in with the flowers of the rainforest. In addition, the rainforests have the largest insect population in the world, including one of the largest populations of butterflies. Now back to Tessa.
Thanks, Micah. The rainforest is a very wet place, but there's only one other habitat on Earth that is wetter. Those are the water habitats of the world. Patrick, would you like to tell us more?
As you fly high above the Earth, you'll soon discover that most of the Earth is covered by water. 3/4 of the Earth, in fact, and there are two main types of water: freshwater and saltwater. Bella, tell us about freshwater.
Thank you, Patrick. Freshwater habitats include ponds, swamps, lakes, and rivers. Each freshwater habitat has very different kinds of plants and animals that live there. Some have adapted to waters that flow very quickly, while others have adapted to waters that remain still. That's it for freshwater. Tessa?
Thanks, Bella. The second type of water habitat is the ocean or saltwater habitat. I'm ready to join you. All I need are my other floaties. My other floaties. I already got my scuba gear.
Thank you, Tessa. There are many types of plants and animals that live in the ocean. Plant life around under the sea, providing food and protection to the animals that live there. Animals come in all colors, shapes, and sizes. There are tiny seahorses, colorful starfish, and big manatees. Now back to you, Tessa.
Thanks, Alondra. Well, we visited just about every part of the world and taken a brief view of the colorful starfish and the various habitats. Patrick?
I hope you've enjoyed our journey and our exploration of science in the real world. Take care of our ecosystems, everyone.